Good morning, students. Today's topic in history subject is Mughals and their decline. And in the topic of Mughals and their decline, today we are going to read about Akbar. And the question in the topic of the Akbar is write a note on Akbar's attitude towards religion. So this is one of the very important question in the subject of history. So concentrate yourself. In religious history, Akbar passed three distinct phases. He started as a devout Muslim and a God-fearing individual. Influence of pious family women deepened Akbar's religious outlook. He performed prayers 5 times a day and showed great respect for two leaders at court, and those were Makhdumul Mulk and Sheikhul Islam. In his 20s, Akbar became a devout follower of Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, saint of the Ajmer Sharif. He was also devoted to Sheikh Salim Chishti, after whom Akbar's first child was named. Because of this joy, Akbar built the Ibadat Khana, where religious discussions were held every Friday after prayers under royal presence. These discussions, however, drew Akbar away from the orthodox Islam. Akbar became disgusted by the petty quarrels between the Muslim ulamas. The interpretation of the Islamic law was the responsibility of the ulama. This conflicted with Akbar, who wanted to be the head of the state and not at the mercy of the ulamas in any case. Also, his attitude of friendliness towards the Hindus offended the Orthodox Muslims. His policy of religious tolerance encouraged several factions of the Muslims to take aggressive side. In AD 1579, Akbar issued his famous infallibility decree, in which he stated that whenever there was a disagreement between the ulamas, the emperor would make the decision himself. This decree caused resentment amongst the ulamas. However, this decree became an excuse for exercising unrestrained autocracy. The gatherings at the Ibadat Khana were exposed to anti-Islamic influences. Hindu Pandits, Parsis, and Jain Sadhus attended the gatherings and expressed their views, to which Akbar was attracted. However, these people began to attack Islam and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Akbar faced severe opposition. Amongst them were Mullah Muhammad, Yazdi Shia Qadi, who declared that Akbar had ceased to be a Muslim. Akbar dealt with the dissident elements by sentencing them to death. However, there was an open rebellion against him in AD 1581, which was the most critical year in the reign of the Akbar. After Akbar quelled the opposition, he called a general council and presented his new religion, Deen-e-Ilahi. He began to think of himself as a religious leader. Akbar never forced his religion on anyone, but he began designing many rituals and practices for his followers. He banned the killing of the cows, selling of the slaves was forbidden, and women were not to be performed sati. He also ordered his officers to practice tolerance. Thus, Akbar adopted many practices from various religions. Islam, however, lost its position of privilege, and many of Akbar's practices differed widely from normal Muslim practices. Though he was fascinated by fire, sun, and light, he remained a Muslim within. Many Muslims began to feel threatened by any tolerance for other religions and for unorthodox Islam. But by the time of his death, he had reverted to ordinary Islam. That was in AD 1590. So this was the question, students. Read this question again very carefully and make your notes. Thank you so much.